And you're like, crap, I need to get up.
Yeah.
And if you're not able to latch onto it, you got to reach out for help. But if you can get something and go, the marginalist, smallest of little things can make a huge impact.
Oh yeah. Well, it allows you to start, and that's the biggest obstacle for a lot of people is just getting up and starting. And the beautiful thing about doing something like cardio, for example, is that everybody can do it. You can get up right now, if you've never worked out a day in your life, and go for a walk.
Yeah.
And if you go for a walk and you've never done it before, and it's kind of in the middle of the afternoon, and you go a good distance around the block, doesn't have to be something crazy, you'll get a good sweat going.
Yeah.
Especially here in Texas.
I think the difference too, so like cardio, what is it? It can be a number of things, right? Why is it important? For cardiovascular health is like one of the top things, right? Just keeping it moving, keeping your lungs in shape, making sure that you don't fall into that slump of like, oh, what's wrong with you? You're like, oh, you're stagnant, man. Your body is stagnant.
Your body
blood
wants
flows,
to move.
your oxygen, everything is off right now. And you're like, oh, that's why I feel so crappy, right?
Right.
Like we were talking about with the diet. It's like if you're starving yourself and you're killing it, like great that the scale's going down, but your body is trash. It's
just
a mess.
going to give out on you. Yeah.
But I think there's so much information, and that's what happens with cardio in specific. So much you Google something about cardio, you're going to get, unless it's real specific or you're looking up a specific video or you're looking up a specific article, you're going to get so much information. And if you have no idea what you're looking at, you could potentially hurt yourself. You could go down the wrong path. You could do too much. You could do not enough.
Yeah. Like if you don't jog yet, right? If you're in a beginning stage where you're just like, okay, I want to where you should be walking, and you go out and you try to run wind sprints, you're gonna have a really bad time, if not get injured.
Have you ever taken like a long period of time off?
Yes.
And then you get back, you're like, I mean, it's like the bike. That was different. We were having fun. It was a great time. It was more so us hanging out,
right?
Doing something physical.
Yeah.
And it was,
for you guys, for me, I was like, if I lose track of these guys, I will die out here.
That's why we put you in the middle.
And I appreciate that.
But I've been training for several years now, and it's not going to change anytime soon. But I have had low points. Yeah. Where I was on the couch for too long, still training classes, still writing programs, eating okay, but you start to your physical, all those things that you've worked on start to diminish a little bit, and you're not even realizing. You come in, throw up some weight, you can go for a mile run, you can do your thing,
yeah,
and then you pick it back up and you go for it. If you're not mindful enough to slow down and get things going, you're gonna either gas out, burn out, you're gonna demotivate yourself.
Yes, and that's the biggest problem with the mental side of this of somebody who's trying to improve their cardio overall, is if you try to do too much too soon, then all you're going to get is discouraged. We have there was a member I had a while back who just wanted to get after it so bad, and they were highly motivated, very determined, and they would just go out and they would just balls to the walls, just rip it, man. And every single workout, they'd end up puking. Every single one. Yeah. And it was like, man, you have to, what you're doing right now is not sustainable. You're getting discouraged because you're like, man, why am I puking all the time?
Yeah.
Quit running so damn fast.
Yeah.
Whenever you're on your fitness journey, you have to remember that it's a lifelong journey, and there is no need to try to squeeze more out of your body than it's ready to give.
Yeah.
You want to push yourself just beyond that limit, just to the point where you're like, wow, I'm uncomfortable. And then you back off.
Have you ever been from a training standpoint? Have you ever been in a slump? Where you're just like you're cookie cuttering things for people.
Yes,
and I haven't done it for a long period of time.
It's been a while,
but it was enough time for me to know, like the same thing, voice in your head being like, "Is that the workout you're going to use again?" I'm like, that feeling is not good. But if you just stop for a tiny bit, and I'm talking about the individual, not the trainer side, but the individual, like. Put some thought into it about what it is that you're trying to do. And I think one of the big questions is like you said before, like, is cardio going to help me lose fat? What cardio helps me lose the most fat? Right? You're like,
yes.
You're like, well, let's talk about it. Right?
This is a huge freaking pet peeve of mine. When people ask me like, hey, what cardio can I do to lose the fat around my belly? It's like, all right, so let's unpack that question. First up, there is no such thing as losing fat around your belly or your quads or any specific part of your body. There's no such thing as spot reduction. That's just the way that you lose weight. The areas that you lose weight in first is 100% determined by your genetics and if you're in a caloric deficit. If you're in a caloric deficit, the fat will start to come off, but it's going to come off wherever your body decides it's going to come off first. And no amount of cardio is going to make you lose fat, because cardio doesn't make you lose fat.
Cardio burns calories.
Correct. Yeah. And it's a big misconception when somebody's trying to lose weight for whatever reason, whether it's aesthetics or for health, that they're just like, oh, I just need to go do more cardio. Yes, cardio is a really, really good tool for that, because it does burn more calories. And if you burn more calories, you can make a better deficit. Yeah. But the problem is that that's all they do. Mm-hmm.